Let's talk about narcissism from a spiritual perspective, part 11. If you're new to this series, welcome. I highly recommend you binge watch parts 1 through 10, where I give my interpretation of the narcissistic spirit through a higher perspective, through a higher consciousness lens. If you have had the experience or an encounter with the spirit, the demonic spirit operating through the narcissistic person, I know you went through a wild ride. If you're an empath, you have a lot of light inside of you, and that light comes from God. And you have the spirit of truth that makes up your frequency. The narcissist is simply a house for unclean spirits, demonic spirits that are messing with their mind. And anytime they are exposed to the spirit of truth, it causes them to make the narcissist behave in ways that are going against God's will. Truth is the enemy for the narcissistic person. The light of truth that resides inside of the empath shines so bright on the darkness and the demons inside of the narcissist that it irritates them. And that's why the narcissist, once they know that the empath knows who they truly are, the empath becomes their punching bag. The empath becomes their enemy. The empath is someone that unfortunately the narcissist doesn't realize is a child of God. Those unclean spirits, those demonic spirits operating inside of the mind of the narcissist are trying to take God's children down. The narcissist is simply a tool that the enemy uses to mount upon in order to get and dim the light of God's people. The way a narcissist operates is like anti-God. It's anti-Christ. The lying, the manipulation, the cheating, the betrayal, all of that goes against God's will. Narcissists operate in such a low vibrational state that they are an open door for unclean spirits to wreak havoc, not only in their lives, but in the lives of those closest to them. As I was going through my Ascension journey, God made me look at narcissism from like a different perspective, this spiritual perspective that inspired me to do this series. And I realized that this is a war, light versus darkness. There comes a point where the light bulb, bing, goes off, and you realize that the narcissistic spirit behind the narcissistic person that you're dealing with has such a strong hold on that person that there is nothing that you can do in the current context. No love, kindness, compassion, understanding that you can give that narcissistic person that will get them to see the light. That is a job of God. And the only way you can help them out is by no longer engaging with those demonic spirits that are operating in their mind. How do we defeat the darkness? Because darkness comes in various forms, but the darkness that's operating inside of the narcissistic person, you disengage. You can pray for them, even though they hurt you. This is why God says pray for your enemies. That's like Jedi status, right? If you can still pray for the very person that hurt you, then that is your contribution towards defeating the darkness that's in this world. But you have to put the energy back towards yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to connect with your creator. You need to see yourself through the eyes of God, and he loves you. And you have to love yourself and not allow the energy, the frequency of the narcissistic person to dim your light. You have to not allow the energy of the narcissistic person make you forget your worth, your value, and who you are as one of God's child. Be an alchemist Take that encounter that you had with the narcissistic spirit, if it's whether you're currently in it still or you're post recovery with the narcissistic spirit, take this opportunity to take your power back. Do not put any attention to that narcissistic spirit that's trying to trigger you, okay? Give that person to God. Imagine white light surrounding that person, because that is what the person needs. They are so far away from their creator. They are so far away from the source. But at this point, you choose you. You focus on you. You heal yourself and allow God to handle that person. You don't have time to deal with the unclean spirits operating inside of the narcissist. You don't have time to deal with somebody who has lost their mind because they don't function and operate with the love and light of God. So sometimes you just have to let it be and focus on yourself. Be sure to check out my 30 days of biblically inspired journal prompts if you're looking for resources to help you rise up post-narcissistic abuse. The link is in the description. Catch you in the next video.